Good morning, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in to this session. Pretty much, we are going to come in on Monday, February 2nd, and we're going to go ahead and get kick started on going ahead and checking out Forex Factory. And then we're going to move into the charts. So go ahead and just let's get started on everything here. So Forex Factory, like I mentioned yesterday, there's not too much news coming out today that I'm currently focused on. As of right now, we do have USD PMI at 9 a.m. And then beyond that, at 9:30 p.m., we have AUD that has some red folders specifically. Outside of that, going into Tuesday morning, we'll be back before 9 a.m. So we'll go ahead and double check this at that time. I always like to check early morning until 5 a.m., which is the time frame that I come to the market. Sometimes you can check right after, say 7 a.m., but that's about it. That's all we got to really know today. Outside of that, news events for the day, we had some yellow folders all kind of go off already. And then we have some additional yellow folders throughout the remaining of the day. So additional fluctuations that could occur, just keeping that in mind. So therefore you have it moving forward. But if you're trading on a smaller time frame, these yellow folders could move the market either with you or against you. Since I trade as a swing trader, these yellow folders usually don't impact my trading plan too much. Mainly the red and orange folders will shift the markets in my direction or against me faster than anticipated. So that's pretty much all I got on Forex Factory today. And let's go ahead and jump right into the charts. So let's start first off of the daily. So daily time frame, we are currently in this overall uptrend right now. I'm anticipating that we're going to pull back, find some support near this previous resistance zone, and then we're going to switch over to some buyers coming back into the market and then head back up. Now, we are currently already heading down in this bearish movement as of right now. Switching over to a 4 hour, as we can see, we are slowly coming down. We are retesting the EMA currently. So I'm expecting this EMA to be tested and then continuing down to this support zone or this support zone. Either one I'm interested in getting in, but I am expecting this to continue lower. If you are looking for a trade off of GU, you could go down to a 2 hour, right? And then you can see market structure on a 2 hour. You have a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So with this, you can take a Fibonacci and you can place a Fibonacci from A to B. And then I would be, if I was I'm not a day trader, so therefore I wouldn't be looking to get into this exact move because I would want this to slow down and then actually switch for a buy opportunity because I don't want to miss the buy opportunity like I did before. I missed all of this buying movement here because I was trying to sell this area here. So unfortunate, but it does occur. So as of right here, I would be anticipating a sell from the 50%, 61% zone in this general area. I would expect the sellers to come in and head straight to the negative 27. All right. And then what else we got? So GU, this is what I'm anticipating currently. I'm not looking for a trade personally. Even if we check out the 1 hour, we can see the 1 hour is breaking the EMA currently. We would need to have a seller momentum only after the 50% is touched. So therefore, we could continue moving in that direction. Let's check out gold, one of our favorite pairs to trade here. So this is the daily time frame. Very simple on the daily time frame. We have actually came all the way back where my ideal area would have been, which is this previous high that was broken, retested, and then continuation, has been retested now again. The crazy parts about these moves is this wick on this daily time frame so far is currently this many total pips. 31. It's like, I think the comma is actually switched over by one. So like 3,100 pips on gold specifically. So this is an insane move so far. If we are looking at the 4 hour, we can see here that we do have kind of like this. I don't really use it that often, but like a tweezer bottom. So with this tweezer bottom style, the only reason why I wouldn't consider this a tweezer bottom is because this wick is extremely long on this specific candle. So if this came down and this first candle right here wicked, and then I had a bullish bar right here, an inside bullish bar, that would give me a little bit better confirmation of a tweezer bottom versus this one right here. So I am waiting for some buyers to still step in before I try to buy this market. As you can see, we are in this very, very tight downtrend style here. I just randomly drew, somewhat of a trend line, just kind of give a reference of like how tight this area is currently. So let's break it down on a 2 hour just to kind of show you what we got. So we do have this nice morning star that was presented right here. So let's see, if I was to get in a long position right here, that means my stop loss would have to go all the way down here. And then where would my take profit be based upon this daily Fibonacci? Daily Fibonacci would be all the way up here. So we are currently at a 3.5 to 1 ratio. So that's actually not too bad at all. So this could be a trade that I would like to possibly get into. The only thing is personally, this is me. If I bought this trade, this would be as if I'm buying a falling knife, because you can see that price has fallen, retested, and then fell like crazy. And it's still underneath this 2 hour EMA. It's still underneath the 4 hour EMA. Let's see, it just barely crossed this 1 hour EMA. So personally, what I would be waiting for is we are currently in this nice move down. And if we're looking at market structure, we have a new low, a lower high, and then price then breaks through, lower high here, lower low here, lower high here, lower low, all the way down here, technically. So if we're looking at like technical lower lows and lower highs, this is market structure currently. So with that said, we are still at this like downwards trend line or downwards Fibonacci 50 to 61% zone. I would be incredibly interested if price comes up just like it did a little bit further and then comes back and retests possibly this zone here, or it can come down a little further to one of these zones and then give that higher low on a smaller time frame Fibonacci, such as this, and then that retests the 50, 61% zone, and then it continues to head up on a 1 hour. That is what I personally would be anticipating, and then I would get into a buy. So same take profit, right? And then if we got into a buy and say our entry was around here and our stop loss was right here, then that would give us a potential of like a 7 or 8R risk to reward ratio versus our 3.5 that we currently are looking at right now. So I'm going to just add this one on at the moment, and I'm going to leave it there. I'm not anticipating to get in this move just because I personally have looked at the market before, and I could see something similar to this happening right in this zone. So you see how price made a nice move up, came down very quickly, and then just kind of came down and then chopped up made another higher low and then just chopped up to break the highs. I'm anticipating the same thing to happen here, where we're breaking through. Right here, we broke through, pulled back, right? Now we need to find some momentum and then break the high. So I think we're going to find some break of momentum and then we're going to break the high. Right now, we still have a lot of volume, right? And we still have a lot of volume here. So I think we need to have a little bit of a decrease in volume. So therefore, we can get a better entry opportunity and then be able to get in this trade without any issues moving forward. So that's what I have on gold as of right now. It's technically still in a bearish trend until this high has been broken, even if it gives a higher low. So even if price comes up and then gives this higher low and then comes up a little bit further, gives a double top, it could still continue lower, right? Based upon this lower high that was made. So until price comes up, pulls back, and then breaks this high and then breaks this high, then at that point, this could be a bullish trend where then we're riding this all the way to the top. However, it wants to, pan out for the remaining of the ride. So yeah, that is what I got on gold currently. Let's check out NASDAQ. All right. So NAS. So for this trade specifically that I have out on here, this is a 4.83 risk to reward ratio as of right now, based upon a rough entry at the open and a stop loss roughly up here, which is a double top. This double top has formed after this major move up, starting to consolidate, double top made. And I'm anticipating this to come down to the 50% zone, which will just about line up with this support resistance zone and or potentially this support resistance zone right here. So I'm thinking we could get to either one of these areas. So I have entered a small lot on here specifically in order to potentially capture the move if it doesn't give us a best opportunity for an entry. And then outside of that, we also have on here on NASDAQ, just kind of continuing down, we have this little bit of a trend line that's kind of starting to form on this downtrend. We're stuck in this consolidation zone. So we can see overall consolidation in this top area here. We are breaking through and holding these higher lows here. And then we broke the trend. So this trend line was then broken here, came up. We then retested this uptrend that was forming here. And now we're continuing down. So we then created a secondary trend and we're holding that secondary trend currently. So I would be anticipating that little bit of a pullback, creating a 4-hour lower high, and then a continuation to the downside. So I would be expecting price to potentially pull up here to this support resistance zone and then start heading straight down if it doesn't head straight down currently. So that is what I'm anticipating. And then you can also see on NASDAQ specifically, right here at the opening candle, we gapped down. So let me go ahead and zoom in. So right here at the opening candle, you can see that we actually came in with a gap down, price retrace, closed the gap to the T, and then pushed all the way down to this trend line area. And now we're getting this bullish bar again. So therefore, that's where I'm anticipating this potential pullback zone where we could come up to this support resistance zone here and then head down. So two things that it could do is it could come up and then head straight down, or it could just break right through here shortly and then retest later. So those are my two expectations as of right now for NASDAQ. And let's go ahead and jump down to a 1 hour just to see what we have on the 1 hour time frame as well. So at this very moment, this is market structure that I can see. We were in this uptrend, right? Then we started making a higher low, lower high, and then we broke through with a lower low, lower high, and now this is the new lower low on the 1 hour time frame. So if we wanted to look at a possible entry opportunity, right, you could even put a stop loss here and then a continuation down. And this is actually what I did on the open. So I added two stop losses, one stop loss here and then one stop loss up here at the double top, giving me a better entry area to get a better and higher risk to reward ratio. And now the only thing that I'm anticipating is Fibonacci zone wise, if we're looking at this overall move from A to B, I'm expecting a fill of the 50% or 61% at minimum before we head straight down. If we don't reject off of the EMAs, I'm expecting us to reject off of this previous support resistance zone here, which is also matching up with the 50%, which if it rejects here, I would more than likely add to my position. And I would add in let me see, short position here. I would add in something along the lines of a stop loss in this zone and then a take profit all the way down to my original take profit zone, which will be all the way down here. So if you're looking at risk to reward ratio wise, this smaller risk to reward ratio could be a 1 in 31. Now, obviously, that seems, quite a bit. So therefore, you always have to remember, if you have something like this one where you're holding for a swing trade and you're entering off of a 1 hour time frame, you have to be mindful that you could get stopped out of this trade based upon a bigger swing. So for example, price could come down, come up, get us in here, head straight down, and then head up, head down, and then off of a 4 hour, it could pull all the way back up here, and then continuation of this move. Sorry, lots of lines, but this is one thing to take effect is like, depending on where your entry location is, just make sure you trail your stop to at least break even or continue trailing your stop down if necessary. So that's pretty much what I have right now on NQ. And let's jump over to S&P 500. Let's see. And we can see this price action right here. We opened right at this high and we're starting to come back down. And you can also see on this 4 hour EMA that there's still some room to pull back up before continuing down. And look how that pretty much lines up with the area opportunity that I've already drawn on right here. So if it does pull up to this zone, boom, entry, stop loss, take profit. Let's see. So we have S&P 500. S&P 500 and NASDAQ are very much the same. As of right now, we have this daily uptrend kind of forming here with this higher low, right? Higher low here. This one broke through the trend line of this trend line. We retesting the trend line here with a double top, and then we're starting to come back down. So I would be anticipating price, just like what I kind of drawn on here from yesterday, is a continuation down, pullback, and then continuation. Or I could be thinking that we get one of two things. We could get a pullback zone right now, and then the continuation, creating a head and shoulders right here. So shoulder, head, right, shoulder, and then continuation down. So we could get a few different options that occur on the S&P, but I am thinking sells just like on NQ. I am thinking sells right now as well. We're currently in this pullback zone right now. So let's see, just looking at market structure, we have this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So same exact structure as NQ currently, where we have this Fibonacci being drawn from here to here. Let me delete this as of right now. So we do have this Fibonacci zone from A to B. Pullback zone is already at right at the 50%. So if we pull back a little bit further between the 50 and 61%, then I would be looking at a possible sell opportunity. And that sell opportunity would come off of the 1 hour specifically. So, and another thing to add as well, we are currently at this low of a 1 hour support resistance zone too. So this could give enough support to break us below our key area that we're currently at right now. So that is one thing to keep in mind. No, I could keep that on there. So I'm going to keep that on there. So therefore, if we do break below, I'm currently not interested in trading NASDAQ and S&P at the same time, unless I do one thing. If I am in a lower position, like for example, if I half my position, because they're pretty much very correlated in the sense. So if I take, say my max risk per allocation, say gold, right? If my max risk, say, was $1,000, that means for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ per that trade, I would only be able to risk $500 in each one because I'm doing 50-50, right? So that would be how I would allocate if I'm trading something of any sort, very correlated, that is pretty much the same. So like, for example, if you trade forex exchange, EU and GU move very much the same. That's the same way that I traded that in the past, where I would only trade half my position on EU if I'm expecting to also trade GU, because sometimes one will work out a little bit better than the other one. So just kind of pinpoint that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into silver. Let's see what silver is presenting us today. So checking out the daily first, you can see the daily time frame dropped significantly the other day on Saturday or on Friday, and then now we're starting to wick at this very moment. So what I saw yesterday was a sell opportunity, but like a sell potential opportunity. But now that we're starting to hold these lows, I'm switching my bias back to buys. As of right now, I'm just waiting on when I'm looking for a buy. So this 4 hour, I'm waiting for this to pull back, give us a higher low, and then a continuation, or even on the 2 hour, because how sporadic silver has been moving pretty much this whole year. I'm expecting on a 2 hour or 1 hour, it's going to give us a nice fluctuation. All right. So just looking at a 2 hour, some people would look at this exact move right here with this bearish engulfing bar, doji, bullish engulfing bar looking. And they would look at this and say, this is a morning star. Me personally, this is not a morning star, because this bullish engulfing bar was not an actual engulfing bar engulfing this drop. So if this bar right here, the bullish bar, broke above these highs, then I would have bought, because this would have been a bullish engulfing bar breaking previous highs, right? But as of right now, it's a weak bullish bar that only closed 75% of this move. So as of right now, that's too weak for me to get in off of a buy opportunity. Dropping over to a 1 hour, we can see very similar to gold. We have now on silver, we have this kind of double bottom zone forming here. We have this nice pull up. So what I'm anticipating right now is we need to get a higher low and then a break to the high, or we break through this previous lower high, come back for a higher low, and then a continuation up. So that is my two expectations as of right now that I'm currently waiting for. We are currently at some previous resistance and support zones. You can see right here. Let me see if I can draw it on. All right, right here. We can see that we had some support, right? All the way over here. Now we're finding some support right at about $70 in total for silver. So we're looking for this to continue up We are currently just waiting for a actual setup to occur. Once the setup occurs, then we would be looking to buy. All right, so coming into UJ is very straightforward for me. We had this overall move to the upside, and we're on the daily time frame. So we are in this overall uptrend right here, right? Overall uptrend right here. We then broke through, nice and strong, came all the way down to this 50% zone. What I was anticipating is this is our other trend line that we have drawn. We could still get down to this trend line, but I got in for a buy opportunity around this higher low here. On a 4 hour, I'll show you. But we pushed up very nicely. We are starting to wick right at the daily EMA. So this is not that great of a sign right now. So depending on how the day ends, we might need to exit our position potentially. So right here, we could still come down to this other green light here where this AOI area is, which is also the 61%, which is also the top of this consolidation box. So I would have no doubt in my mind that price could still get here before going all the way to the negative 27. That is what I'm currently thinking of right now based upon UJ. I'm currently in a buy, but this could continue to break down. All right. So 4 hour right now, just so therefore you have it, we bought, or I bought, should I say, I bought right here with this bullish engulfing bar. Stop loss is below this higher low here. And then we are currently pushing up and we broke the previous lower high that it did make. I'm anticipating a pullback, most likely to this zone here. And then I'm expecting us to then continue, right, pull back to this zone and then continue higher. That is what I would be anticipating as of right now. So only a couple things could happen, right? So now we have the 2 hour. 2 hours still looks the same. One push up, I'm expecting a pullback and a continuation. We're currently at the 2 hour EMA. 4 hour, we are just about at the EMA. 1 hour, we're starting to cross the EMA a little bit. So on the 1 hour, we have a little bit of a lower high that's starting to form. I'm just notating all the information so you have it. Let's see. So we had this kind of uptrend kind of forming here. So yeah, we're just kind of holding this little bit of a trend line in a sense on the daily, or on the 1 hour, should I say. Yeah, not really too much as of right now. I'm thinking overall today we're going to pull back a little bit further, and then I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. So that is what I'm expecting right now on UJ. If we do pull back and start breaking through the support resistance zone heavily, then I might just get out at break even. Because then that means that this trade is currently not working for me currently. So that is what that would be indicating to me. US 30 just is chopping right now. It doesn't know if it wants to go down or up. So you can see wick, right? Tons of wicks to the upside, tons of wicks to the downside, stuck in this little box zone right here. So it really doesn't really know what it wants to do. So even if we pull up the 4 hour, we can see we're slowly grinding down, but wick to the upside, right? Once it breaks the new low, it breaks all the way to a new high. Breaks the new low, it's currently trying to come back all the way up to these highs. So it's like US 30 right now. I'm not really interested in getting in a buy or a sell. I was interested in for a buy, got in for a nice buy here, but then it didn't get to my green light. So unfortunately, I was then stopped out. Outside of that, it is back at this kind of trend line here. I don't think this trend line is going to hold that. I mean, it definitely could, because this one broke through, but this one pretty much held. This one pretty much held. So yeah, this trend line could hold very nicely. And this could be actually a buy opportunity. So what I would need to see, I would need to see this come back up, breaking these previous highs, come back, give us a higher low and a nice, easy higher low, and then a break to the high. So that's pretty much what I would need to see on US 30, but I don't really have any of that right now. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have for US 30. Not too much going on today, guys. Unfortunately, we are anticipating some moves to happen. We are currently just anticipating them to actually come up to our zone. So therefore, we can actually take action on these. So for example, gold, it's probably going to take another 4 hours for price to come up, come down, and give us some sort of potential move to the upside, right? And that's the minimum. It could take more than that. It could wait until tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm expecting us over the next 4 hours, just keep an eye on it. Over the next 4 hours, again, to keep an eye on NASDAQ, potentially silver. I'm not sure about S&P 500. Look at that. It broke through this previous minor support resistance zone here. So now we're at that 50% zone that we drew out earlier from this high to this low. We are pretty much tapping that 50% right now. So yeah, I'm thinking silver, gold, NASDAQ, and then maybe UJ tomorrow, and then maybe US 30 tomorrow. So that's pretty much what I have in mind as of right now. Gold, silver, and NASDAQ today. Highly probable, right? Not guaranteed, highly probable. All right, guys. Well, that's going to cut it for me for today. There's nothing else for me to really kind of go through. If you did want to check out my website, you're more than happy to go ahead and do so. It is thedragonsnesttrades.com. And if you go to thedragonsnesttrades.com, we do have our promotion right now. It's right here at the 75% off, where you can actually come in and create your entire trading plan for less than a prop firm. It's only about 18, pretty much almost 19 bucks, and then $31.25 per month. And this is to create your entire trading plan. Once you're signed in, it's very straightforward from there. There's only 200 total spots for this code specifically. And if you want to come in and create your trading plan because maybe you don't have one, we're going to go ahead and get this updated as well. We're going to extend this offer all the way until the end of February. So don't forget that we're going to get that taken care of. All right, guys. So give us just let me know if there's anything I can help you out with. Shoot me an email. If you come over to my website, my email address is all the way down here at the bottom. Feel free to reach out to me, noah@thedragonsnesttrades.com. Ask me any questions you have, and go ahead and feel free to check out our entire website. This has our entire information on here about how to create your trading plan and what's in here, as well as our trading coach that we do have inside of the Dragon's Nest Trades. All right, guys, y'all take it easy. And just remember, practice doesn't make perfect. It makes permanence. So why not practice the right systems with the Dragon's Nest Trades? Take it easy, guys.